Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you a really quick and easy technique to get more clarity in your mixes. And this stems from the general theory of how our ears work and our sensitivity to certain frequency ranges. We can hear, on paper from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. But we have a sensitivity range in there that we're particularly sensitive to. There's two ranges. I'm going to explain what those are. So we have a piece of material here. Right, and there's a lot going on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an EQ3. And I'm going to band pass. I'm going to give you an example of kind of what we're super sensitive to, right? And I'm going to use a low pass and a high pass with brick wall to demonstrate this. So I'm going to set this. We are very sensitive to 2K, 2000. I like how in FabFilter you can just type that in, to 5K. Oops, not 5K. Type 5K. There we go. So 2K to 5K. And this is what we're very sensitive to. And this is where sibilance and that's like the unpleasantness and the ouch. This is like, hearing your infant crying in the other room. We're super attuned to this range. So if there's something really kind of, ringing or not boxy, but like super ringy and stuff like that, you want to go and, repair that with EQ or even de-essing. To me, this sounds okay. All right, so that is the first range you want to look at. It's like, is there anything happening in there? So apparently there's not. So we have a curve of sensitivity, and it kind of stops at 500 hertz. But it goes down to, let's say, 100 hertz, and this is a kind of a region that I enjoy working with. Right, and this is where we are kind of most sensitive to. Everything else is, diminishes with age, and this down here is not really heard, but kind of felt, and that's a separate video altogether there. And anything above here is presence, but yeah, a lot of people don't really work in this frequency here. Well, you go a little bit higher, from 5K to around 10 is presence. And then beyond is, rolled off kind of gently and things like that. But I'm going to set it back to 5,000 here. So one thing I notice is I'll break it down like a mathematical formula. And this is essentially what we're doing. We're breaking it down into a frequency band. It's like we're going to make this band sound decent, and we'll see the improvement. So we'll do a quick before and after. This is what it sounds like. Right, and this is what it sounds like while we're working on it. Right, so I'll break it down. I'll get rid of that percussion. Right, and I don't have any clarity on that kick. It's kind of lost. So what I can do is I can go into Pro Q3 and bring that back in. Right. All right, so there's that little percussion hit that I mixed in before. It was a little bit too loud. Right, it's below that frequency that we're super sensitive to, but it's a little too much. Right, and now I'm going to maybe move that off to the side. Right, so now, in theory, I will have a little bit more clarity in that kick drum. So let's give it a listen. Oops, actually, turning off the wrong thing. There we go. Right, so a lot more clarity in that kick drum there, because we've kind of given it more focus in the range that's a little bit more important. If you can make things sound and fit well in this region right here, you know, listen to a lot of your favorite tracks in this frequency range here. So let's work on that bass a little bit. All right, so we're getting there. Right, and we can add some clarity afterwards. Oh, I double clicked there. Oops. Right, so everything seems to be talking well, and you can see that little percussion hit poking through, but it's sounding okay. I might want to roll that off a bit more, actually. Right, just guesstimating. Right, and is there a bypass button? Could be. Actually, I know there's a bypass button somewhere. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, let's give that a listen now. Right, sounding pretty decent, and it's a good starting point. This isn't like the be all end all, but it's a good kind of reference that you want to look at here. So we've added in the percussion. A little bit of kind of boxiness low end stuff going on there. To me, that sounds pretty good, and it gives a lot of space in the mix there. So now let's give it a listen. Right, and that's given us kind of a rough idea of how things will sound and how things kind of should sound. Right, and from here we could be like, okay, so we have to get that this right here. It needs to have a little bit more punchiness to it. Right, and that kick is getting a little bit muffled. Maybe. It's hard to tell before you start populating things, but we got that. I'm gonna add my favorite cheat code, which is transient shaper. So I've effectively lost it. Let's do this. Nice. Let's add another EQ, because I like to have my EQs in series. You get like less jumbly. There's reparative enhancement and those two kinds of EQs. Right, and at the end of the day, it's given me a good starting point to work with. Right, and I could add some, a little bit of saturation, some multi-band stuff in there to make it fit. But I know where the problems lie, right? And we can confirm this and listen to it. Right. So a disclaimer: this can not. It's not entirely perfect when you have a brick wall roll off. What's happening is it could introduce some phasing stuff and affect the sound, something called pre-ringing. So it's not entirely 100% accurate. So keep that in mind. It might sound a little bit different, but the idea of it is to give you I guess, a good starting point. And we can give a try to the natural phase. And things like that. But we're not using this in a final track. It's just a reference, and it's a great way to stay in shape. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.